In this segment, we're going to debut something a little fun, a little special. We're going to call it Tired Observations. So I have opinions, I have questions, and I'm going to ask some of those to Shez, and we'll see where it goes. So, Shez, are you up for this?
Oh my God, I feel like I'm under pressure. Let's go.
No pressure. So, what I've done, and we're going to start off with the Lewis Hamilton news that has been really seismic in every way that you can imagine. And I spent the last couple of days observing people, observing what others are saying. I've also been contemplating, speculating what some of the people that are inside F1 have been thinking about this massive, massive move. And so I have ten observations to run past you, and let's see how that goes.
Okay.
Observation number one: death, taxes, and the F1 silly season never fails to amaze us, right? I mean, it has been a crazy 3, 4, 5, how many ever days? I don't even know anymore. So that's been there. The C in Charles Leclerc, Shez. What do you think that stands for?
I thought it stood for Chuck, but but maybe it doesn't. What are you going to tell me?
That's a good guess.
Championship winner.
That's a good guess, but you're wrong. It stands for, come on, man! I just signed the damn extension. He can't be happy about this, right? Like, I mean, I know publicly he's going to say all the right things. I'm going up against, a seven-time champion. I'll get to learn from him. He's going to say
I
all
don't.
that.
I don't think so, man. I think actually this is a blessing in disguise for Charles Leclerc. I'll tell you why. Because the whole of last season, he was fighting a slightly uphill battle. When the car was at its fastest, who did it favor? Carlos Sainz. And that kind of helped Charles because they both like a completely different kind of balance, right? Charles wants a pointy front end
Mhm.
with a slightly loose rear. He said it himself. He says, I hate understeer. When I have understeer, I find it difficult to extract the pace. Whereas Carlos loves it. That he likes taking that geometric line through a corner, and it paid dividends for him in the middle of the season because it meant that he was able to take the Ferrari fight forwards. And at Monza and at Singapore, it really paid off for him. I think that actually Lewis has a much closer driving style to what Charles wants, right? Lewis wants a sharp front end, wants a bit of a planted rear, but he wants it sharp at the front so he can then rotate the car quickly and then get on the throttle early. That's what Charles wants to do as well. And if those two can come together, you won't have that lull in the middle of a season where the development of the car has gone away from Charles Leclerc. I think he'll relish this because there won't be any more of that. Carlos is winning. He's a better driver. Nonsense, because we know it's not true. Charles is the quicker driver, but for any driver, if you take the car miles away from what they need and further towards what their competitor needs, it's always going to make them look bad. And not having that, having two drivers that like the same thing in a team is going to work in his favor. I think he'll relish that.
All of that is fair, but it's easier to win against Carlos Sainz than it is against Lewis Hamilton, right?
It didn't in 2023 though, did it?
Yeah.
It wasn't
Well, I
easier in
mean,
2023, was it?
they weren't winning anything in 2023. Had
They
Red Bull.
did win. They won a race. And who won that race?
I'll give you that. That's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All
Bring
right.
on Lewis Hamilton any day,
Moving
is what
on.
Charles Leclerc is saying.
Happiest guy from the Lewis Hamilton news. You want to take any guesses?
Uh, yeah, I think that this is going to be a toss-up between George Russell and Max Verstappen.
Yes, you are absolutely right. George Russell, because he is no longer in the shadow of Lewis Hamilton, at least as of right now, he can celebrate. But Max couldn't be happier about this. Like he is dancing. He has been proven. Like this solidifies his championship way more than anything else, right? But mostly he doesn't care. He's got to be the happiest guy though.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Yeah, so we're saying that Max is the happiest guy because he's just at baseline, the happiest guy in F1.
he don't
Yeah,
care.
despite he
Yeah.
just doesn't care. Like all this
Yeah.
stuff is happening elsewhere, whatever.
Exactly. He's like, yeah, I'm winning 24 again. So there's
Is
there's
is
that.
Perez
So,
is Perez still in the car next to me?
no
Yeah, fine.
idea. No idea.
Yeah,
Don't
carry
care.
on.
Don't care. Bring on the next guy.
Yeah.
If there's one person
Exactly.
who couldn't care less about anything, it's like whatever, man. I'm just gonna win all of these on my own. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah, yeah,
matter.
yeah,
I'll lose the
yeah.
odd one because just everyone else has to
Just
get
for
a chance.
fun. Just for
Right.
fun. It's
Yeah,
yeah.
just a little bit of
Just
charity,
throw
right?
somebody else a catch. Yeah, great. That's
Exactly.
fine.
Exactly. Um, let's see if you can guess this one. What's the three-letter word Christian Horner texted Toto Wolff upon hearing Lewis Hamilton's announcement?
LOL.
Man, you're on it, man. Yes. Yes, he did. I mean, come on. He had to be laughing, right? He's just like scrolling through his phone. He's like, like, look at this guy. He's imploding, man.
I saw the best meme. I saw the best meme. Somebody had put up was it engine mode? I think it was engine mode 11. He put this up. A little meme of Christian Horner saying, Toto, I said change your effing car, not your effing star. I thought that was quite amusing. Yeah,
That
yeah,
is
very funny.
amazing. All right, I
Okay,
got
cool.
I got another one for you now.
Hit me, hit me,
What
hit me.
does the C in Carlos Sainz stand for?
Uh, can never be in the right place at the right time.
No, it stands for call me, maybe. Right? So I've noted no less than five possibilities, right? Steak, Audi, Mercedes, Williams, maybe Aston Martin, maybe Red Bull. The hell is he going to do? He's going to need a new cell phone, man. And he's going to
Yeah,
need more
right.
than one.
Yeah,
But
right.
Carlos,
Maybe you should go rallying. Just follow
maybe
in
he
his dad's
should.
footsteps.
Maybe he should. I
Sorry,
mean,
guys.
it does appear though that even in losing out to this seat at Ferrari, that he will have options. He certainly will be at the top of all of these teams' list, if not
Yeah.
guaranteed for one.
I mean, Sainz must be the most highly rated sacked driver ever.
Yeah.
He's been punted out of his team for no rhyme or reason of
Well,
his. You know.
and also if you're gonna lose a seat, you might as well lose it to a Lewis Hamilton or maybe a Max Verstappen, right? Like
Yeah,
that's
right.
the only reason you're losing your seat to. So it'll turn out okay. All right. Here's the thing about the 2024 season. The worst part about the 2024 season
Yeah.
is that we will be waiting for the 2025 season. Is
Yeah.
That's not going to be much fun, man, outside of like, hey, what's happening
Yeah.
next?
Yeah, look, I mean, I had this argument with somebody else, right? They're like, oh, can we not just fast forward to 2025? But actually, look, it depends a little bit on what the competitive order is. If Mercedes really have come up with a car that can challenge, if Ferrari have continued on their trajectory, and if McLaren have are going to um, pay out on all the promise that they've shown, then it could be quite a competitive season. And actually, part of me does want to see what the fireworks at Ferrari and Mercedes are going to be like when George doesn't have to worry about the fact that Lewis is in the other car because he's like, whatever, he's going to leave next season anyway. And Carlos is like, well, I need to drive as hard as I can and show everyone what I can do because I'm not going to have a job for next season. So
Mhm.
actually, I think there'll be some fireworks. I think the team that stands to gain the most from this is actually McLaren. But even there, you're going to have an issue because I think Oscar in his second season is going to have been doing some work on the sim or somewhere to try and get his tire management up to scratch so that he's better in the races. And if he's been successful in that, Lando's not going to have it quite as easy as he did the season before. I mean, there's intra-team battles everywhere. And if any of those teams can build a car anywhere close to what Red Bull have got at the moment, and Red Bull start to hit that law of diminishing returns, then perhaps we're going to have a season to get behind. Maybe it'll be a repeat of 2010, and we'll be thinking at the end of it, oh my God, how can 2025 top this? There we go.
All
That's
right.
my bold take for the 2024 season.
Ever the optimist that you are.
Always.
All right. On to my next observation. Anyone want to talk about the damn Andretti news? Anyone? Anyone? Anyone care about that? Anyone care about the fact that what seemed to be a promising bid and possibly an 11th team on the grid? No one cares, man. No one
I care.
cares.
I care.
All right, what do you care about?
I think number one, I'm enjoying the ping pong match that's going on between F1 and Andretti. You'll recall that the F1 in their rejection notice said that Andretti had been invited to come and to a meeting, um, and present their case face to face, and also the Andretti coming along in 2025 was ludicrous because they then have to build a brand spanking new car for 2026, which, to be fair, I agreed with. Andretti is then shot back with, well, actually, we said that we weren't planning to build a car for 2025. We were aiming to come in for 2026. And if we'd had that meeting, then actually you would have known that. And so that's a massive dent in your argument. And the second is, which I find the most amusing out of all of this, is we didn't get your invitation because we found it in our spam inbox.
That's what I'm saying, man. That
Absolutely
was
nuts. But I think,
hands-on.
Amar, the thing that gets me about all of this is the parallel, right, between Andretti, and more generally the 11th team in Formula One, and Brexit, because the FIA issued a tender for an 11th team to join the grid when F1 were clearly saying we don't want an 11th team because it's going to dilute our franchises. No, we don't want it. But FIA did it anyway, and has then put F1 in an awkward position because they're now having to reject a team that the FIA have approved. And this parallels with Brexit, where David Cameron, this is for UK guys only, but you indulge me for a second. David Cameron, as the Conservative Party, put forward that to save his party, he needed to have a referendum on whether Britain should be in the European Union, a question that nobody really needed answering. And having then put that forward, we're now in a ridiculous situation where everyone has voted to not be in Europe, and it's caused massive havoc. If you'd never had that vote in the first place, if the FIA had never put forward a tender for an 11th team, we wouldn't be in this position right now. So there you go. It's the FIA's fault. It's Brexit's fault. Take that to the bank.
Multi-billion-dollar organization, multi-million-dollar teams. The hell are we doing with spam emails, man? This is why people call you and text you after sending you an email. Check your spam folder, for crying out loud,
This is
man.
why Andretti can't be on the grid, because they don't have
It's
a
crazy.
robust
It's
email
crazy.
account.
We got to get back to the Andretti stuff because it's more about just than Andretti. It's the whole idea of having an 11 team only to say no to one. Like
That's
that's
it.
just insane.
Just to remind everyone that if you were to email the tiredf1pod@gmail.com, we would absolutely get your email. We check our
Yes.
spam folder every day.
Please do email us. Please also think about liking, subscribing, commenting on our videos too. We're hard at it, as you can see, with these hard-hitting observations. All right, I got a couple more now. What's the only phrase Lewis Hamilton will need to learn in Italian when he starts in 2025?
It is the time for the hammer.
Correct. Hammer time. But yeah, you're on it, man. You're on to one. And just so everyone knows, I did not share these with Chaz. It might look like we're very scripted. We're not very scripted here at the Tired F1 Pod,
Just one mind.
but
Just
this
one
is
mind.
just, yeah, one mind. So Lewis Hamilton better figure out how to get hammer time across to his folks and to himself. Either do it in Italian
I think more amusing is how we translate goat into Italian, because
that's
I'm pretty sure it doesn't mean the same thing,
It
right?
doesn't mean the same thing, but again, those of you that are listening, feel free to give us suggestions on this. All right, my final one, man. This is to all my fellow Ferrari fans, the ones that have always been there, the ones that are just coming into the fore after this news, especially a lot of you in the UK and a lot of you in America as well, whom I've heard from. Uh, you know, uh, pump it down a little bit with the celebrations, man. Let's act like we've been there. Like, let's not starting popping champagnes and having celebrations already. Like, nothing's been achieved yet. Okay, let's all simmer down a little bit, calm down. We let's not forget that Max Verstappen and Red Bull are thrashing everyone. Okay, so while we get excited with transactions and everything that happens off track, let's just calm it down a little bit. Okay, let's not celebrate. We haven't won anything yet. So act like you've been there, and listen to all of you. I've been with this for as many years as I can. I care about you. Don't give your heart just right away. Okay, just hang on to it. Keep it locked in tight, close to you. You got to do that. All right, Ches. This is especially for you now that you found a new level of fandom in Ferrari, and you're a savant of the sport and a history buff when it comes to that. Be careful, man. Be careful what you're getting into.
Yeah. But I can't get off the hype train. Uh, I've seen Michael Schumacher turn up and win 5 titles. I've seen Kimi Raikkonen turn up and win 1 title. And I'm going to forget the fact that Fernando Alonso, my erstwhile favorite driver of all time, and Sebastian Vettel turned up there and won absolutely nothing. None of this matters. Lewis will go there and sweep all before him. I'm sure that's what's going to happen. History be damned.
There you go. Shez with the very well informed, not at all one bit crazy opinion and hope for them. And be
I forgot
careful.
Prost. How could I
Yeah.
forget Prost?
Okay.
Prost
Yes,
turned up and also won nothing.
but in this century we have not done it, right? We haven't quite done it that way. So let's stick to that, right? All right. So these are our tired observations, the Lewis Hamilton special edition. I hope you like it. Let us know if you want us to have more observations, questions, anything that you want us to tackle in this very serious format. Thanks for listening.